name is Yato, otherwise known as Shade. I'll be covering everything from Genji's basic abilities to advanced techs like Multiclimb and create Bhop. We'll also have timestamps in the video because it's going to go long. First, let's go over Genji's abilities and how they can be used. There are two main abilities, Ultimate and Dash. I'll go over them more thoroughly as needed, but a basic description would be that Ultimate gives move speed, and Dash is a dash that is a fixed distance. Let's start with the basics. Genji has two jumps and a climb. Also, you can mantle, just when Genji climbs an edge. As I said earlier, Genji has two jumps. It gets you pretty far, but you can get farther if you Bhop. All a Bhop is a small jump. To get a Bhop, you must walk off a ledge first, or fall off. Now you can also Bhop first. This is harder, but to do it, you have to walk off an edge, and as you are falling, you need to hold space. Next, we're going to go over drop edge. It follows the same principles as Bhop first, but instead of falling, you'll re-grab a ledge. This lets you have a double jump as well, and you get Bhop. Another use of drop edge is to climb instead of Bhop, which saves double jump. This can also be chained into a ledge grab. Next, we're going to go over edge climbing and how to chain them. I use the method that you have to control mainly with your camera. However, there is another method that uses strafing. I'm not super good at it, but there's a lot of people in the GP community that are. Next is the save climb. To perform it, you need to look at the ledge you are grabbing with an angle. It is a difficult tech, but becomes easier with practice. Some ledges are easier to save on others. As you play more, you will find them. As you see, when I look at a ledge and I try to mantle it, it uses climb. But if I look at an angle, I should save climb. You can play with the angles and try to find out how much of an angle you need to look at to save climb on, but you get the hang of it eventually. If you look at an edge too far away, you won't be able to mantle it. You will also find ledges that require you to hold crouch. That is only because the ledge is too low for Genji to grab without crouching. If you have Bhop on a low edge and you try to climb it, you will lose it. Next, let's go over high edges. To perform a high edge, you have to hold space a little longer than normal, but if you hold space too long, you'll just end up mantling. Let's go from this spray to over here. To do that, we'll have to do a high edge. A somewhat uncommon but useful tech is surfing. Staying low on the roof will help you go farther, as being higher causes you to fall faster. Some edges require you to be a little bit farther from them. This is called a distance edge. If you're too close, you won't be able to grab it. If you give a little bit of distance, you will. Here's an example of a checkpoint that uses the majority of the things I covered, like the Bhop, and then there's also a distance climb, which is this line. I'm also going to be showing another tech. It's called Dash Restart. Some maps have it disabled, and it only works on level 0. First, go in pencil mode. You control EF, which is the restart, and then you have dash at the same exact time. I have dash rebound to a mouse key, so it's easier to perform. You may have noticed that I had Bhop after dash. This will always be the case if you dash while on the ground. It will still consume a jump in exchange for the Bhop. There will be cases where you get your ult. This will give you a lot of move speed. Next, I'll cover windows. These require fast grabs. This ledge is also a distance. Here is a window that is not a distance, but you should still fast release, otherwise you will hit your head on the top frame. That covers all the basics. With all that was covered, you should be able to beat all the easy to medium maps. Hard maps will also be beatable, but will require you to have mastered the techs. Now I'll go over the more advanced techs. This next tech is called Multiclimb. It's basically just an animation cancel. I'll play it back in slow motion. So what I am doing is I'm releasing spacebar 2 frames before I turn into the wall to where Genji would actually use his climb. So I use flicking to help me time it. Because I am covering all the text and trying to be in depth as possible, I will mention there's another way to multi-climb. I am not as good at it. It is the same concept, but instead of using camera to time the multi, you really space 2 frames before tapping W, which is called a heli multi, as opposed to the standard multi. Now for the last advanced tech, the create Bhop or CB hop. It uses the same timing as a multi. You can create a Bhop on every low edge. To do so, release space 2 frames before you grab a low edge. CB hops are more forgiving than multis because you can try again if you fail as long as you grab the low edge. I should mention that some maps ban both create Bhop and multi. This concludes my tutorial. Please comment if I missed any text or something needs further explanation. I will gladly answer or make another video. Please go check out the Discord in the description. It has lots of resources to get better at GP.